Hello, my name is LiJiaxuan, a student at Archiol University. I'm glad I learned architecture that I love. Mm. I'm a funny person in life, and I'm also a person with special ideas in my studies. I have my own design studio that allows me to reach out to different people. We can do the design together and finally become great friends.
Hello everyone, my name is TuYilan. I'm a senior student at Archiol University. I dramatically became a student of urban and rural planning, but I have a strong interest in architecture. So for me, my major gives me a good chance to explore architecture in a different perspective.
Hello, my name is LaiJiaqi. I'm a student from Aural University School of Architecture. I came from Zhejiang, Wenzhou.
I have lived and grown up in building since I was born. I became interested in architect when I was a primary school student. At that time, I was interested in the shape of Kuha's Beijing TV station and witnessed the compilation of Herzog and de Meuron's Beijing National Stadium. This made me feel the charm of building that it is indescribable. When I was in junior high school, I fell in love with football. In China, there were no professional football stadium at that time, so I would learn about the appearance of foreign football stadium in the video, especially the stadium in UK. Finally, I draw my dream Chinese football course on paper. Yeah.
My family loves to travel, and that makes me have the opportunity to see many special buildings. It was the Sydney Opera House that really got me interested in architecture. From the moment I saw it from a distance, I was deeply attracted by the shape of its wide sails. As I approached it, gradually entered the interior of Sydney Opera House and had a wonderful experience listening to opera. I was deeply impressed and attracted by the architecture.
I was born in South China, has always lived in Zhejiang General High School to visit a series of Asian buildings in northern China, including the Museum of Qin Huang, the Great Wall, and so on, which for the first time brought me to the concept of architecture. In my current view, the design of the building is to design of people. It to grasp the design of the space, the person who designs the space subjectively to create the atmosphere of the space, feel the space in the building, and dialogue with the building.
When I first heard this music, my biggest feeling was panic. After listening this song again and again, I can feel horror and desperation atmosphere. This reminds me of the story of the dark shoe I saw on a blog. Yeah. Afterwards, we took contradiction as the main body, transforming the two emotion of hope. Transforming the two emotion of hope and despair into a architectural space for expression. Architecture is emotional art. For me, architecture can't predict the future, but it can create the future.
Architecture is the medium and language which I convey my ideas, and it is a container of thoughts with no boundaries.
Architecture is created by people, its meaning is also given by people. Architecture is a process from nothing to something, from virtual to real, from desperation to unity, from disorder to order. The meaning of architecture is variable over time.
For this music, we have asked friends who study classical music for help. They help us analyze a lot of content from the perspective of music composition. Finally, we add our subject feelings about music to make this work. In my opinion, architecture is the god of human beings. In other words, it controls people's emotion. Yeah. Different space will bring people different feelings, such as church makers, and amusement parks make us happy, and cemetery make us stand, and so on. That is why I attend this contest. Yeah.
After listening to this piece of music, I first felt a sense of loneliness and oppression. I made a detailed analysis of the music, and it is not difficult to find that do sol mi is constantly repeated in this piece of music. The sound and echo of falling water drops can be clearly heard in the background. The appearance of echoes and water sounds reminds me of the image of giant building and a karst cave, and the repeated do sol mi becomes the basic element of the repeated changes in the building. The rapid string music becomes a turning point in the entire architectural space. The repressed tone and repeated syllables of the whole piece lead us to create such a structure to express the contradiction. The brief appearance of the strings is the brief appearance of hope in a difficult situation. What seems to be the end of a dilemma is the beginning of a new one. I hope that this building is not necessarily a building with a clear function, and the combination of architecture and music can not only see the building as an instrument for playing music. In my opinion, music is emotional, so architecture for the purpose of presenting music does not have to be rational. It can exist without relying on traditional architectural forms. It can be a building without boundaries and a clear appearance. Feeling is the core of this architecture. When people are in this building, the emotions respond they can create, the feelings they can feel, and the elements they can perceive are consistent with the original music. Then my goal has been achieved.
When I listen to music, I try to put myself in the space and try to portray the feeling that come from the sound to me, and then I try to express this space with me. I think the design of the sensory architecture is a very pure one of the many designs, and he focused the design on these senses, so that it can give people a more shocking, more sincere feeling. This fantastic me